Okay, so g'day and welcome back to Goomonese Coins and Banknotes, and today we have some banknotes which are my extras, and this is a for sale post. So these banknotes are for sale, and all of these banknotes here should cost $5 or less. If you see any of these for like $15, $20, you know that they are pretty much overpriced. So the first one we have is one Cruzeiro. So the Cruzeiro was first introduced in 1942, and it replaced the rays at 1,000 to 1. And since 1942, Brazil has had about, I think, 7 or 8 currencies. So this is the first one. So obviously, a lot of people were saying hoo-ha about, the economy is going to collapse because the currency is depreciating. Yeah, well, Brazil's had that many times over, and well, it still exists, and people don't really talk about these revaluations. So this one was replaced in 1967, although at the same time they did have the one Cruzeiro coin. So this one's dated 1955 in circulation, and those circulated at the same time. Now there is a 2 Cruzeiro banknote as well as a coin which also circulated at the same time. They initially did issue a 5 Cruzeiro. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So this one has the Marquise Tamadore, and he was the first head, I believe the first head of the Navy. And on the other side we have I believe this is the Naval Education building, and as you can see it's on the water. So it's quite nice, printed by American Banknote Company, and for that company this is actually quite a nice banknote that they design. Usually the banknotes, they're not too bad, but the colours are not as unique. Usually it's just mono colour, or maybe just 2. This one has quite a few. Anyway, so an interesting thing about Brazilian banknotes is that you can see it's got 6 numbers there. Well, some people don't class 0 as a number, but I do. The first one on these banknotes up until the 1994 is always a 0. So we've got 0, 0. Here on the 5 we've got 0. On the 10 we've got 0. And also on the, so these are the next currency, we have 0. So we've got 5 numbers. Here it gets a bit complicated. So we still have the 5 numbers. Then we have 0, and here we have the series. So this is 7470 series. And then we have 0. And you can also see it on this dirty banknote here. So series is 72870. So it's always a 0. 14271. So that got me confused with the number of banknotes printed because I was counting all the numbers. But you can count all the numbers, so this will make it 2,042,039,306. Then you just take 1 0 off. So it's 204,239,306. So not too sure why they've done that. It's just really archaic system. So how many banknotes are printed to this? These are all the same series, so, or not same series, same signatures. So series 2042, that's why they call them series, because initially they put series and A. So the A, they're all A, so it doesn't matter. 2420, 2575, and the last number is 3690. So this one is the 1955, which had a print run of 90 million. So that is a pretty common banknote, and these are probably about $3 or $4 each. Okay, oh, I've got 4 of them. I didn't know that. Gee, this one's consecutive. Okay, no, but they probably come from the same bundle anyway. because the numbers are quite close. So obviously these ones, when hyperinflation happened, and these disappeared from circulation about 1965. They issued high value coins at the lowest was 10 cruzeiros. Basically, let me know if anyone wants to purchase these. Okay, then we have, oh wait, where's one of those 5? No, where's the 5? Oh, there's the 5. Okay, so this is the 5 with Branco. You can find information on him on Wikipedia. But we're just talking about the actual banknotes. So there is a few series of this banknote. So we with different signatures. And this one, I'm just looking up. So there was a split, 1962, 61, 62, in which they issued a different type of banknote. Then they reissued these again, so I'm not too sure why. But this one has legal tender instead of legal to receive. So obviously it would have been still based on silver. And it's quite a nice banknote, printed by Thomas de la Rue. So these would have had more integrated colours, because they experimented a lot more. If you look at American banknotes, they're actually quite boring. And on this side, we have, okay, Conquistina, okay, the conquest of Amazon. So we should have indigenous people and a bunch of white people thinking that they're just so good. Anyway, so that's that banknote. It really, how much are these? Oh yeah, you can get them for like $5 and almost uncirculated. This one has a center fold. So really, look around and let me know what you think the value is. Okay, next banknote we have is a revalued one. So this is a 10 cruzeiro of the same series as the other two banknotes, and it's been revalued at 1 centavo. So obviously this gives a valuation of the exchange rate of 1,000 old cruzeiros equals 1 new cruzeiro. And Thomas de la Rue. But this one is series 3138, which was never issued as the old currency. So obviously these are in stock, and banknote was still in circulation. Although they did issue a coin, but there was not enough of these for the entire population. Okay, so these revalued ones, yeah, I can see you can pick them up for, that's Jerome collection for like, €1.99. Okay, how about on Wikipedia? Not Wikipedia. Yeah, probably about $5 in this condition. So this was first issued 1966, 67. Once again, the 0 in the front. Doesn't count for anything, so just disregard that. And on the back, ooh, what's this guy doing? Don't know, but it looks a little bit perverty. Okay, so that is Allegory National Unit, representing the steel industry. Okay, Unidad Nacional. Obviously it's got cogs and machinery and all that stuff. So anyway, that's that banknote. And on this side we have Mr. Vargas, who was the president of Brazil, and he was overthrown. So 1930, 1945, and then he was overthrown. Then he was president from 1951-54, in which he would have been overthrown, but he committed suicide. So it's surprising that he's on this banknote from 1945 to 1950. I thought that they would have removed him, but no. Okay, so then we have the revalued Cruzeiro. So this one's, yeah, this design's actually not too bad. It was first issued 1972. I need to have a look. So all the series in this, the same. I think they issued up to 50 Cruzeiros. Okay, they got revalued. In 1970 they first issued, so it's 3 years after they revalued the currency. So the banknotes are really just a revalued version. So they must have had trouble printing banknotes. They issued this design in 1, 5, 10, 50 and 100 Cruzeiros, and then they had weird ones in which you can turn upside down as the images are same. Okay, so we have the watermark. So really, such a low value banknote, it's not really worth having a watermark. Though it does make it good. So it's effigy of the Republic, which is this, a woman, so Brasilia, and that's her there as well, with the Phrygian cap, which is the Phrygians used, probably even before that, probably with the Media people as well. Once again, this serial number, the first zero there, you can discount. Okay, this one's a bit damaged, and here we have, okay, green building in a amortization box. So it's probably the central bank building. Anyway, got 3 of those. These ones are pretty cheap. I see that the price is roughly about $5 now, which is surprising considering how much they printed. So this serial number, how much did they print? 941 million. So really, they're going to be common for as long as the, oh no, B16. Okay, they all 15, B16. Okay, 490 million. Yeah, still is common. Anyway, going to be common for at least a billion years or so. Okay, so the next banknote I got this in, I first got this in the 1980s or 1990s as part of one of the newspapers. They were giving away, they had like a booklet, and then they were giving away banknotes with the buying the newspaper, and you put in the booklet, like the 2014 to 2018 coin sets issued for the First World War. And this one's actually not too bad. This is my favourite one. So he has I think he's a conductor. You can look on the back. Yes, he was a conductor. And we have images of the Amazon on the back as well. So I quite like this. Is green. Green doesn't really usually make nice banknotes, as you see this one. Although the design does help. If the design's good, the colour doesn't really matter. But if the design's bad, then the colour does matter. Okay, so his name is Hector Villa-Lopez, 1887 to 1959. We have lily pads in the background. Okay, background excerpt from the scores of the work Ure Pura, blah 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 blah. Okay, and it doesn't say anything about what species these lily pads are. Which, if you go, where can you see lily pads? That's right. They have a lotus garden somewhere near Lilydale. Anyway, 500 cruzados. So they changed it from cruzeiros to cruzados. And once again, you look at these serial numbers. So obviously that 0 is nothing. So this is 7470. And that is 1987 with 466 million. So this one, relatively cheap. All the values on Numis are probably old values. They don't keep up with inflation. And I see currently you can buy them for $3 pretty much. There's one on there for $67, but why? Okay, they're probably one of those fly-by-night sellers trying to sell stuff for way over the actual catalogue value. 2 centavos, $9.75, $8. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, so yeah, that one's pretty cheap. I prefer to get rid of these as a set. And the other banknote I have is the 1,000. So with the cruzados, okay, keep still on the cruzados. There's the 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. So they didn't issue any twos. So this is the third highest value. First issued 1987-88. And we have Joaquim Assis. I'm not even going to say his whole name. You know, he just needs, I don't know, another 100 word different names in it to make it a really good name. Okay. Actually, I will say it. Joaquim Marquez Mercado de Assis. 1839 to 1908. Brazilian Academy of Letters. Handwritten excerpt from chapter 32, The Retired, from one of his books, Esau and Jaco, 1904. So obviously he's a literary writer, writes literature. And yeah, then we have that, whatever that is. Okay. Whatever. I haven't actually looked too much into this. And you've got a book and a fountain pen. So that's what they used to write in. Ballpoint pens they only come around during the Second World War. And here we have print of Primeiro de Marco Street in Rio de Janeiro. Former Direita Street, 1985. So this is a print of that. And obviously you got cable cars drawn by horses, so before they were electrified. And you got a lot of old buildings, so a lot of these probably would have been torn down by now. So, and that quill in the book is also watermarked, so they should match up over both sides. And if they don't, then you probably got an offset error. Anyway, how much would one of these cost? Yeah, in this condition, probably not much, just $2 to $3. But anyway, yeah, get them uncirculated for about $5. Anyway, hope this helps with your banknotes and coins. By making these videos, I can tell you how much these are practically worth. So, if you're a buyer and seller, obviously you want to find these lower and sell them for a bit higher. But you know, I've just got these for my collection, so I'll probably purchase these with our banknotes, and these are just the leftovers. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time, and take care.